Hare Krishna. Rejection of all faith as blind faith is blind faith. Some skeptics say that they condemn faith and they label and reject all faith as blind faith. However, those who reject all faith as blind faith, often don't realize that they themselves have faith, and not just faith but blind faith. How can the faithless skeptics have faith? They have faith in their skepticism, because skepticism is also a mode of looking at the world. The skeptics, whatever they look at, they try to find faults in it. They look at it with the vision of doubt. Now, certainly the doubting is important. The Bhagavatam says that doubt is also a characteristic of intelligence. But at the same time, doubt in and of itself can never tell us what is right. It can tell us what is wrong. But beyond that, if we want to know what is right, we have to move from doubting, from skepticism to some level of faith. So skepticism we can roughly equate with doubt, because the essential mode of functioning in skepticism, essential mode of perceiving, analyzing, responding is based on doubt. So now rejection of all faith as blind faith is itself blind faith. Why? Because such people, by rejecting all faith as blind faith, they are themselves reposing faith in skepticism. And generally when we call some faith as blind faith, that means the people just accept something without evaluating it critically. That's what, without seeing the faults in it, without seeing the problems with that belief system. When somebody accepts a belief system, that is what generally is called as blind faith. So skepticism, when one accepts it without recognizing the serious flaw, the fundamental flaw, the fatal flaw in it. That what is that fatal flaw? The fatal flaw is that skepticism can never tell us what is wrong, what is right. It can only tell us what is wrong. So we can in fact, skeptics, if they are if skepticism becomes ingrained in them, then skepticism can very well become like a game for them. Whatever thought system is presented to them, they can pick holes in that. But in this way, they stay in ignorance. They can never come to know the right thing. To eventually accept something, at least, they have to put faith. And by skepticism, by accepting skepticism uncritically, they are putting faith in skepticism. And they are putting blind faith in skepticism. That's why rejection of all faith as blind faith is itself blind faith. The Bhagavad Gita in 4.40 states that Agyascha Shraddhadhanascha Samshayatma Vinashyati Nayam Lokosti Naparo Nasukham Samshayatmanaha. So it says Agyascha Shraddhadhanascha. It says that one who is ignorant, one who is unfaithful, and Samshayatma, one who is doubtful, who is a doubter. So this is especially refers to one who is a inveterate skeptic. Such a person, Samshayatma Vinashyati, such a person is destroyed. What is destruction is Krishna referring to over here? It is not a physical destruction, but skepticism is like a sword which cuts oneself. How does it cut? Nayam lokosti naparo nasukham samshayatmanaha. Neither in this life nor in the next life can one gain happiness, because one never comes to know what is right. So even in this life, by rejecting everything, what is the skeptic is left with a meaningless life, with life as being seen increasingly as meaningless. And when one sees life as meaningless, then one ends up becoming one cannot have any satisfactory, fulfilling life. When life is rejected, life is itself as deemed as meaningless. And of course in the next life, because one has lived skeptically, atheistically, nihilistically, one goes to an unfortunate destination. But when we turn towards the Bhagavad Gita, instead of having such blind faith in the rejection of all faith as blind, instead if we study the Bhagavad Gita and analyze its message, deliberate on it and then live according to it, then as Krishna says, then we will realize that faith is not blind. It is a reasonable faith. It is intelligent and verifiable faith. Krishna tells Arjuna, deliberate on this message. Vimrishyaita dasheshena yathechachitata kuru. Deliberate. So Krishna is not asking for blind faith. Krishna is asking for intelligent, reasoned faith. And he also says in 9.2 that pratyaksha dharmyam, that we can realize it by practical experience. So rather than rejecting all faith as blind faith, we can instead use our intelligence, study the Bhagavad Gita and recognize that the faith that the Bhagavad Gita calls for is not blind faith, but it is intelligent faith. It is reasonable and verifiable. Thank you. Hare Krishna.